Okay, I hope you've had some time to play around with some of these structured prompt approaches, the structured reasoning approaches, and figured out exactly what works for you. But just in case you are having a little bit of trouble or you're unsure of how to approach these things or where to even start, you're in luck. I have put together two things for you. I've taken the liberty of putting together a series of prompt templates and prompt building recipes that use the concepts that we've talked about in these first two modules to create, number one, a set of templates that you can just rip right off the bat and paste into chat, fill them out, and then paste them into either ChatGPT, custom instructions, or a Claude project, for example. And you fill these little brackets out here, and you can slice and dice and edit these as you see fit to make sure that they meet your reporting needs. And the second part of this is a series of recipes that you can mix and match, you can tinker with to make sure that they fit exactly what you need to use them for. Some basic instructions on how to work with these and to fiddle with them. And this whole document is broken down into basically two parts. Well, technically three. You got the README up front, which explains what this is and what it contains. Then you've got a series of templates and recipes related to structured prompts. Obviously, there are some structured prompt templates in here, and then the recipes show you how to build your own or how to tinker with them to build your own. And then the second half down here is tips and prompt recipes and templates for building out context documentation for your Claude projects, for your custom GPTs, as well as some recipes that also do the same thing. So go ahead and head to the link on your screen right now to check those out and to play around with them. If you want, you can make a copy of them or you can download them as files and then edit them on your own terms. And the second thing I've built for you to sort of help you get started or help you explore various tasks and approaches for using these tools in the back office elements of your journalism work is the LLM Journalism Tool Advisor. I built this with help from AI coding tools like Replit, and I've packed it full of information that comes directly from the multiple AI and LLM and automation guides that I've put together. So for example, if you are doing research and background information, you can click here. It'll ask you what level of research you're in, if you've only looking for some quick background on a topic, or if you already have the documents already laid out and you want to analyze specific documents. We'll say we want to take a deep dive into a complex issue, and then it asks you, do you have specific documents? And you say, yes, I have documents. And here it will provide you with a series of recommendations and tips, including tools that you might use, the chatbots you might use, a basic, very basic sample prompt, some tips, and some comprehensive general best practices for these tools as we've discussed in our first two modules. And then if you'd like, you can either start over by clicking try another task, or you can go back up and click here. You can go back in the process. If you click the wrong button, you see you get a different prompt for different recommendations. And each time you do that, it will save the prompt or the tip card or tip sheet from your previous search. So you can go back as many times as you want. Let's say we are doing researching and we want to change it to editing and refining. We want some fact-checking assistance, some generalized fact verification, and you can see here we have all three of these things right here. If you want to start over, you can completely refresh it by clicking the little circle thing here, or you can go down to the bottom and you can click this sort of random button at Discover Another Workflow, and it'll take you to a random workflow in the tool. Now, there's light mode, there's dark mode. You can also click up at the top here. You can compare up to 3 different tools for various tasks. So I can compare ChatGPT, Gemini, and let's say Notebook LM, and it will pop these open. You can also swap those out if you'd like, and you can just see general overview of what these tools are good for, how much they cost, some best use cases. And then finally, you can click not finally, actually, you can select from all of the workflows here with this drop-down menu. If you click on it, it'll bring you right to it. And at the end, if you are interested in seeing how other people have used these tools, you can click here to see the case studies that are pulled. These are real examples that are pulled from the guides and the research and the interviews that I've done with journalists and newsrooms across the country. And each one has a link where you can read more about the different case study or project, and it will take you to that article. So that's that. You can go to the links on your screen for both of these right now. And I just want you to remember that this is an iterative process. This is something that takes a while, that takes some tinkering. But the good news is if you ever get lost or if you ever get confused, you have many options available to you. One of which is just to talk with the bots and ask the questions. And you can even send them screenshots of what you're stuck on. Or you can refer to the many guides and resources that both I have put out and a bunch of different people in the journalism and automation and artificial intelligence industry have been producing. There's a lot of great educational resources out there. So we'll wrap it there. This is just a final note for Module 2, and we will move into Module 3, where we are going to discuss some basic no-code automations for how you can pull these tools outside of the chat interface window in the browser or in the app and bring them to where you and your coworkers are in your newsroom. So that means you would bring them into Slack, you can integrate email, you can do all kinds of things that really unlock a lot of the potential and the power of these tools and incorporate them or layer them into larger workflows to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of those tasks. So I will see you in the next video.